Where the hell is Deontay Wilder? Again, where the hell, where on earth, where on this planet, where in boxing is Deontay Wilder? Like, subscribe, jab that subscribe button, detonate your right hand on that bell button. Where is Deontay Wilder? That is the question. Because, as we all know, Tyson Fury's come out. He said the trilogy is off. Bob Arum's come out saying the trilogy is expired, the contract. Frank Warren's already come out talking about, Tyson Fury is going to fight on the 5th of December, in a homecoming fight against a few named fighters that, Bob Arum's named. Bob Arum's already named Oscar Rivas, his name F.A. Jagbar. He's also named, what's his name, Ajit Caballero. Some people are talking about Takam. Some people are throwing out other names that they want Tyson Fury to fight. I believe the Fury fight is going to be within the top ranked stable. So, it'll be interesting to see if he fights a Takam or if he fights anyone that is remotely dangerous. Because, if we're talking about Fury fighting someone that is not so dangerous, he's probably going to go the Ajit Caballero route. And a lot of people are talking about Ajit Caballero. Personally, I don't want to see Tyson Fury fighting no Ajit Caballero. I'd like to see him fight anyone with credibility, because Takam, we all know Takam that fought, Anthony Joshua, Takam that fought Jarrett Chisora. We know Oscar Rivas from fighting Dylan White. F.A. Jagbar is gradually building up his name. A lot of people have been hyping up F.A. Jagbar. Hasn't fought any big name fighters yet. Will Fury go down that route? It'll be interesting to see the business aspect, how they're going to look at in terms of selling the fight on pay-per-view, because there's no crowd. But, that is just, all of that's probably a topic for another video. But Deontay Wilder, no comments from Wilder. I checked his Twitter, nothing active since like August or something. His Instagram, nothing's active. He ain't done no podcast. He hasn't even spoken to PBC. He ain't spoken to no boxing, sport outlets whatsoever. We haven't even seen him on, online interviews or anything. They're talking about scrapping your trilogy. Your contract has expired, and Deontay Wilder is nowhere to be seen. The only person we've seen come out, making comments is Shelley Finkel. And I saw a Talksport, Talksport.com article where I think he was talking to, was it ESPN? I can't remember who, Shelley Finkel was talking to, in regards to the contract. And he hasn't come out to actually say that the contract is cancelled or the contract is expired. His comments has been around. We're looking to fight in December. We think the fight will be happening in December. We look forward to fighting Tyson Fury, talking about Wilder's in training, this, that, and the other. He hasn't physically made any comments talking about the contract hasn't expired or whatever. He hasn't made any comments on that. That's a bit telling, because if the contract really expired, if Shelley Finkel and Wilder's team knew there was an expiry date on the contract, why didn't they get the deal done? Does Deontay Wilder really not want the fight? Does Deontay Wilder not want to fight Tyson Fury again? Is Deontay Wilder looking for another, comeback fight against, another opponent so he can take them on and blast them out of there to get his confidence back? We don't really know. But it's a bit strange that, Tyson Fury is making comments and Deontay Wilder's nowhere to be seen. JD's, we ain't seen nothing from him. We ain't even seen anything from Wilder himself. We haven't seen anything. Obviously, Al Heyman doesn't speak so much, but we've only person we've seen from Wilder's team is Shelley Finkel. And as far as I'm concerned, his comments don't look very convincing to, tell us that there is no expiry date on his deal, on his contract. Because apparently they were looking for the fight to take place in January or February. And for me, I wanted this fight to happen this year. I wasn't looking, dragging on this Wilder Fury saga all the way into February again. Because maybe, I think there's two options here. It's either Deontay Wilder is not as fit and he's not in shape as we think he is, and he's still got lingering bicep problem and they're trying to buy him time in training and recovery. Or they're looking at, Errol Spence, it's taking place. Errol Spence's fight against Danny Garcia is taking place in December. We've got Joshua versus Pulev taking place in December. We've got Dylan White Povetkin, which is becoming he's got an interesting fight since the first fight. That is, taking place in November. There's quite a few fights, taking place, late November and December. And, with everything that's going on with COVID, maybe their team is thinking, we don't know if people's got that disposable income to be purchasing pay-per-view. Maybe, with no gate fee, plus having rival competitive, rival fights that are, rivaling them in terms of people's pockets, in and around the same date. They're probably thinking that this fighting in December is going to generate them the least amount of money, especially when there's no, probably not going to be any fans, or even if there is fans, there's less fans. So they probably think, Bobby Wilder's team is thinking this is the December, the time where we can't generate the most money. And they're thinking if we fight in February, hopefully they don't know if things are going to be picked up by then. We don't know. There's less fights that could be competing with them around that time. So, there'll be people can just focus on that fight and buy pay-per-view for the Wilder Fury trilogy. But obviously Fury said he's not interested in fighting, in February or January. He wants to fight in December. And he said that that the Wilder team is messing him around. So, dates changing up and down. We don't really know what's going on. You know what would solve all this? Comments from Deontay Wilder. So drop your comments in the comment section below. What do you think about my comments? What do you think about Deontay Wilder? No comments from the Bronze Bomber. No comments from, the guy that said, your king will return. Talking about rising like the phoenix from the ashes. Where is Deontay Wilder? Is he still in his bunker? Drop your comments in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, jab that subscribe button. Detonate your right hand on that bell button. Drop your comments again on this topic. Cool.